Hello, CISO and leadership team. My name is Samuel Inaboya, and today I'll be presenting the findings from our recent penetration test of our internal Linux environment. The objective of this engagement was to simulate a malicious insider threat. My goal was to identify vulnerabilities within the Metasploitable 3 Ubuntu system and demonstrate how an attacker could exploit them to exfiltrate sensitive data. First, let me walk you through the testing environment. I set up a secure, isolated virtual lab to ensure no production systems were impacted. So I will begin by starting up my Ubuntu VMs and my Kali Linux VM. So before I can attack this Ubuntu VM to the right, I need to identify my IP address. Since I'm connected to the internal network, I will be assigned an IP address within that subnet. So I'm going to open my terminal. So I'm going to type in this command if config for this exploitation. Now that we know what the IP address is, I will use the nmap. So we use this nmap command to run the host discovery scan on the host IP address space. I added the /24 to scan the subnet range. After running the command, we should see that there are two hosts active. The one right there in the bottom is my Kali Linux IP address, and the one on top is the Ubuntu Linux VM that we're gonna be exploiting. So I'm gonna hit clear on that. Oh, before that, I need to copy this IP range that we'll be exploiting and make a note of that. Okay, clear. So we're gonna do a TCP connection to scan the ports of the machines. It should populate a bunch of info that we can use to exploit the machine. So I will start by typing nmap, that's SCI. Oh, then inserting the IP address. Now we can see the TCP port scan has completed, and we can see now we can see the ports, the open ports, and what services are being used by those open ports. Now, we want to go deeper to not only see what ports are open, but to also see what services and their versions are running behind them. We can use this command. I'm gonna clear out this all the junk. G dash 0. Okay, start and scan. Oh, yep. Our scan just populated all this, so we can see 21, the TCP is open for FTP, 22 for SSH, and so on and so forth. So I will now perform a banner grabbing and then later test the HTTP method manually. To start this in my Kali Linux terminal, I'm gonna clear that first. Then I will run I will use netcat for this command. I will run nc. You can either use a netcat or you can use nc. This basically the same thing. Type in that IP address. Then I want to connect on port 21. So I will specify the port right there on the end. So now we can see it. So this is basically the welcome page for the FTP. And now we can see it's running on port 21, is running the Pro FTPD. And it also give us the version for the server. So with this information, we can perform exploitation and enumeration on this server. So with this information, I can look for possible vulnerabilities. I'm going to pull up the CVE website, which is a website where they post vulnerabilities. So I already have this pulled up, but we can see the vulnerability for this would be mod underscore copy module. So I'm going to put this to the side and continue my exploitation. I also forgot to mention with this mod copy module, this mod copy module vulnerability. Uh, this vulnerability basically allows an unauthenticated user to use the SITE CPFR, which is the copy form, and the site CPTO, which is the copy to command. And this is bad because I can copy any files on the server, like the password files, and I can move it to a place where I can download it, like the web server directory. And we do not want that. But for this use case, we'll be exploiting that. So I am now going to connect to the FTP server again using the same command that I used earlier. Now I'm going to type a few commands into this. I'm going to start by this. Gonna make sure that's right. So after typing this command, we get a 350 file directory exists and it's ready for the destination name. So I'll also type in, after typing this command, we should see a 250 copy successful message, hopefully. Ah, there we go. So now I'm just gonna exit this. I can use Control C to exit this. Okay, just gonna clear this. So now that I've moved the secret file to the public server, I will now use the wget command to steal it. To steal it. But in the Kali Linux terminal, I will type the wget command. So this is gonna take a while. I'm just gonna skip through this. Using this command should help me to steal the information I just copied to the public server. I'm just gonna click enter on that. Ah, now we see a good message that we need. So how do I read this file that I just copied? So in order to do that, I will use the cat command, which is basically cat uh, txd. Simple as that. So now we can see all the files. Also, there's another way we can do vulnerability scanning, and it's by using an automated software called Nessus. So we are going to attempt a scan on our Ubuntu VM right here. So over here, I've typed out this command to start Nessus. So I'm gonna click enter on that, and it's asking for me for my password is Kali, very safe. And then I will go to the website. Gonna open my Firefox over here. And I'm going to go to the Nessus website where I've already created a Metasploit VM scan. So this is one I created already, but we can still go to the site and navigate and see the types of vulnerabilities that the scan have performed. So over here we see there are two major critical vulnerability, and the one right here, the FTP one, is the one I just manually exploited. I hope with this demonstration, I was able to highlight a critical gap in our patch system management process. If an attacker had done this, they could use this user lists, they could use this user list, well, the one I showed previously, they can use this user list to launch brute force attacks or potentially crack password hashes to gain admin control. To remediate this, I recommend three immediate action. One of them being patch management. We need to upgrade the Pro FTPD to version 1.358 or later immediately. The vendor has released a patch that specifically fixes the mod copy flaw that we just exploited. The second one would be configuration hardening. We should review the proftpd.conf file and disable the mod underscore copy module if it's not required for business operation. And number three would be network segmentation. In the long term, management interfaces like FTP should not be exposed to the general internal network. We should restrict access to specific administrative IP addresses only. In conclusion, I just want to say, while the target system was compromised, identifying this vulnerability now allows us to fix it before a malicious actor can exploit it. Better me than someone else. By applying these patches, we significantly harden our security posture. Thank you for your time, and I'm open to any question you may have regarding this assessment. Thank you.